Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest, also known as the Blue Team, and ending with Team 2, also known as the Red Team in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1's Amethyst Purple player, we have Bedaji Savopokon, or BSP, or Bedaji for short. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1606 rated player. To the north, we have in Royal Blue, Zelby Lycomp. He is a Cybran for this match at 1831 rated. He is also the highest rated player on Team Blue, or Team 1. Into the east, in Stitch Blue, is another Cybran. It is Lord of Ashes. Maybe he'll cause his players to turn to Ash, or maybe he'll turn to Ash. He is a 1495, almost a 1500 rated player. And again, he is a Cybran for this match. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have two Cybrans to the north and a Seraphim in the southwest. So no UEF, no Aeon for Team 1. Starting up with Team 2's northern player in Ruby Red, we have Gaba Gaba. He is an Aeon for this match as a 1079 rated player. To his south in Chevy Crimson, the highest rated player on Team 2 and the game overall, it is Drimmer. He is a Cybran for this match as a 2162 rated. And to his west, we have, as the one and only UEF of the game, we have Kelly. He is a orange to color orange coated in terms of the color scheme on board that com. He is 1604 rated. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have a UEF, a Cybran, and an Aeon, going with the classics here for Team 2. And granted, the game is so old, I don't think I could act. Well, not so old, but it's older, so I don't think I could just say classics. At least the starting three factions, the Seraphim, were introduced in the expansion, of course. And with these 6 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at, I mean, that's not 0. It's not great. That's something. 4,700 mass. On the map, there is a 1,800 clump, and that mass has already been scooped up a lot by Team 2's Gaba Gaba. So maybe it's probably 5,000 mass, roughly. It's being scooped up as we speak. There is also a nice little clump there, and there's actually a couple of not 200s, 100s, 50, 60 kind of dotted in the nether regions of the map. One feature, of course, as you've seen by the very beginning of it, is a large section of the map which is kind of not there in terms of usable because it's just a bunch of mountains. So we'll see probably a lot of ASF stack up maybe down here for somebody, maybe a bomber from Team 1's Bedaji if he goes with a T4, but I would not be surprised if we see just a line of AA either on this western side or this northern side for either Team 1 or Team 2. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at the mechs locations. There is the main quad mechs in the northeast for each team to grab, where of course a lot of land is going to be fighting over it, especially with the southwestern side being a little bit narrower. We'll probably see more action up here. Maybe, maybe not. We'll just see. It looks like it's going to be 1v1 in the northeast, 2v2 in the southwest. And besides that, there's a couple of mechs down here. Try-ish mechs. Another try-ish mechs right next door. And then a couple of mechs kind of dotted around the back line. Oh, that's a quad-ish mechs. Don't see any com-on-com action yet. Has happened, but we do see Team 1's player of Lord of Ashes has gone for gun. Over in that northeast, gun speed and range is coming online for him. We see Bedaji getting some nice Team 1 land facilities online to scoop up some reclaim, and he's going immediately for T2. It looks like he's going to get some... No engineers. Looks like just Thams to help push this middle section. It's going to be Drimmer and Team 2's Kelly versus Team 1's Lycomp and Bedaji. In the northeast, it's going to be Lord of Ashes versus Gaba Gaba. Gaba Gaba getting some nice T2 and now some T1 PD online to help secure this avenue. It gives him a little bit more breathing room. He doesn't have to produce as many units. Of course, the downside, though, is that Team 1 artillery can outrange Team 1 PD, which, of course, means that the T2 PD needs to be, of course, further back or further forward so that it can cover the discrepancy of the range, essentially. And it looks like it's actually about the same position, so that's a T1 PD might be taken up, but the T2 PD will stand, just the T1 probably will not. Oh, that is the wrong button. There we go, speeding up just a smidgen, and it's partly driven the fact by the game just kind of taking a little bit more to get up and running is because there's literally only 2 avenues for land besides the transports, of course. So it really makes it very difficult to have just, oh, there's going to be a run-by opportunity. Oh, there's going to be this, that, and the other thing. There can't really be that because there's no real place to run by unless an entire, lane is entirely overtaken by a team. Good luck. So we're going to see a little bit more time being spent on upgrading, going for a lot of more units at a time. We see lots of Team 1 units stacking up behind Lord of Ashes. Another Team 1 PD has been deployed. And now we're seeing some land factories as well. Lord of Ashes sitting right outside of range. This is what he can see. And this is what Gava Gava can see. So he'll just see the shots, but he doesn't know who it is. If the comm walks any further forward, he should be able to see him. Gava Gava might invest in the, I was going to say sensor package. Be able to see the comm, because once he can see it, then he can target it. And look at that, just inside the range of those T2 PD. Cannot target them. He cannot see it, but looks like he can target him now. Sensor package is online, as well as the Lord of Ashes is now, dipped into that visual range. He is retreating, and given the size of the map, having a sensor package like this essentially means there's nothing that he can't see in that avenue in that northeastern corner. But we'll force Lord of Ashes back. Yes, he took out a couple of PD, but really all this is going to do is reinforce the idea for Gava Gava to just build more defenses. Probably needs to get a shield or two mixed in there as well, but he probably needs more power maybe before he goes and invests in that. But maybe just a T2 or something just to get something going online, or maybe just a parashield, just anything to just help cover those units and structures. And again, similar thing in the western side, just PD, shields, defenses, all of the goodness, but there's no direct attacks yet because there just isn't really enough to warrant breaking through. Team 1 going for all units and Team 2 going for more defenses over here. We see T2 coming online, soon to be T3. I wouldn't be surprised. T3 almost done for Zelby in the northwest, and T3 almost done for Drimmer in the southeast. So it is a Cybern v Cybern affair. A couple of Corsairs inbound, sniping at some Pigeons. Definitely not a good thing, especially for the airplay, to lose a Pigeon or two. It will slow the advancement of the upgrade just a smidgen, but I don't think it'll be that concerning. There's also some counter Corsairs online for Team 2's Drimmer, so they had the exact same idea at essentially the exact same time. The only downside is Team 2 was able to deal with it a lot easier than Team 1 did, and now we see Corsairs sniping some mexes, which is never a good thing for anybody, let alone the air player trying to, of course, produce anything. Gun started here for Kelly in the southwest. Oh, I will note that the only Aeon player in the game is Gava Gava as well, and the only Seraphim player is on Team 1. Did forget to mention that. I sometimes remember to do that, sometimes I don't. I did remember to do that with the UEF. Transports have dropped off a couple of Titans. Lots of AA has been lining this northern side. T1s and a couple of T2s. Unfortunately, it was not enough to stop the transport. Looks like the transport was actually donated over by Drimmer. Nice little assistance there. Bombers coming in to try to slowly eat away those Titans. And again, there's a lot of Team 1 mobile AA and Team 1 stationary AA. So it's not really worth it to go for the mobile. It's mainly worth it to go for the mexes, because that's really going to have the more impact, at least in terms of right now. Looks like missiles raining in from Team 2. Oh yeah, there's some spearheads. Lovely little things. They pump out a lot of those missiles to Team D. There's not enough of them. There's a shield about to be finished, but that Team D is going to die. Looks like Tham's going to just run into the breach to just keep those missiles at bay. Eastern side missiles, speaking of which, on the northeastern side, we see those volcanoes really doing a great job of splitting all of the nonsense up. You can see all those missiles just being grabbed by those flares, essentially. They're like a tractor beam and a flare mixed together. It's a very weird setup, but hey, it works. The shield is down. The spearheads are down. At least one of them is. And the stealth field is down. That's annoying. Team 1 is going to be able to pierce the veil in that regard in terms of radar, not necessarily the vision scenario. And the Team D, I think, is starting to be overwhelmed. Gava Gava is retreating. I don't see why he's doing that, but he is at the moment. And that, I don't know if he's confident enough in his defenses or not, but looks like he's getting some more stuff online, going for more TMLs, and I think he may have done that by accident. Yep, did that by accident. Couple of units drop off in the back line. Looks like that's what he was going for. But some Titans are moving in to intercept, and that's probably going to be enough to stop that push. Looks like one mech was lost. It's not too bad. Actually, there's more mechs lost over here, so never mind. That's what, 5, 6 mechs is lost. That is at least a chunky eco. But Team 2 is still in the lead for mass incomes. 300 versus 250. Not a lot of mass at the 15-minute point in the game. But again, partly driven by the fact that it's just not that populated with mass extractors. So it just kind of lends itself to not having as much mass as other games. Which sometimes is nice. You have to be a lot more efficient with your mass income, and sometimes it's nice to just 1,000 mass at 15 minutes for everybody, just because we like seeing the big ticket items sooner rather than later. A couple of gunships down to the west or southwest here from Team 1's Zelby, going after a couple of mexes. There's some ASFs inbound, and there goes that. And then the ASFs fight one another. It'll just be down to numbers and who can get the good turns. And I think Team 2 got the better turns in that regard. But again, being up half a wing, a squadron or so of ASFs at 60 minutes is nothing. Even at 40 minutes, it's nothing. It just all comes down to what are the ASFs shooting at and how are the turns looking. Missile redirect systems on board for Team 1. Nice little loyalist mixed in there for Lord of Ashes. And of course, missile from Team 2 will be grabbed. But nice grab there. Essentially avoids the death of I think the T2 mix is what it was targeting. Nice use of tech there. Team 1's player of Zelby has returned back to base, leaving Bettergy the only player on the western side for Team 1. It looks like Lord of Ashes is walking back and forth. Can't decide if he wants to stay there or not. Gava Gava decided to stay there, getting some more PD to defend. There is a group of units starting to stack up, but it's mainly Team 1's. I don't see a lot of T2s. Again, there's that one loyalist up there, but it's not a whole lot up there. There's just going to be a long time before a lot of stuff is really online to really push in. There is a sniper bot here for Bettergy, and it looks like it's some... Is that missiles or is that artillery? No, that's T3 artillery, some demolishers coming online. Again, TMD can't deflect or deal with those. It's just going to impact the shielding. Bettergy's like, hey, I heard something shake, and that's just the shield being hit. Game is slowed down precipitously, so let's speed this up, just make it a little bit more entertaining. Again, some ladder matches are go, go, go. Some ladder matches are not so much. And of course, the more players in the game means more go, 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 and less time for me to catch my breath and not keep the sim speed at like -3 to keep up with everything. I don't think I've dropped it that far. -2, I think, is how far I've dropped it for the most part. P1 Bombers over top, going to help eat at the HP on the shielding. Not really do a whole lot. And now we see counter artillery online for him as well. So it's just the game of how many shots can somebody fire before the shielding goes down and knocks out the things that are shooting at you. Ooh, T2 Cybran shields, though, not great in terms of shield strength. So that is going to... Ooh, nice hit. Takes out almost one of the demolishers. Takes out the other one of them. And one more shot will take out the other demolisher. Yep, there goes that. The Team 2 will lose the little arty war that happened for about 30 seconds over there. Well, maybe a little bit longer, but close enough. ASF stacking up for both of the air players. Couple of T3 gunships mixed in for Zelby. Maybe trying to assassinate Kelly on that western side. T2 and gun is on board that comm, so a little bit tanky, but nothing too bad. Going for another shield emitter. We do see some drones over here to assist as well. Love to see those engineers run around the map in their hovering tech. Go back, says Drimmer. That's probably a good idea. There's a lot of T3 mobile artillery here, plus some offense to hang back once the defenses are very chewed up. And we see... Oh, I heard something drop over here, but maybe not. Gunships moving in for something, but I don't know what's going to go after. Weather's going to shift northward. Go. Interceptor's still chasing those whalers, but they don't get much value out of them. Lots of Titans and Percys being spammed up. The attack is inbound. And of course, he's going to stack underneath shield coverage. T2 lasers are going to help deal with some of those Titans. And when those Percys need to keep moving, they're just going to get stacked up by that group of artilleries. Oh, we got to keep moving. Oh, they hit the Hornet's Nest. Yes, they did. And there go the Percys in retreat. Now we see some triads in range as well, helping out, targeting the T3 units first. Target the bigger items, so that way they don't do as much damage. And some whalers down here eviscerating some T2 mexes. T3 AA Cougars are being spammed up to help assist, but it's still taking a little bit of time to deploy all of them. And now we see the Percys undeterred. They probably should have waited for the Titans to take out most of the, or take the shots first. Percys unfortunately will take the brunt of the damage, and the Titans will help, but looks like they're going to be more on taking out the emitters and the artillery. Got him maybe back online, full HP. So a little bit unfortunate, but again, all the mass will pretty much go to Team 1. Some mass is right here, but it's favoring Team 1's Better-G, so I'm very thankful for that. Nice little gift. Another group of mexes have been assassinated. Look at this. Considering the fact that Team 2 has lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 mexes, they're still in the lead for income. So either Team 1 is just really hurting on power, or Team 2 just skyrocketed in. That's another mex dead. And it's just not a good day. It looks like Team 1 AA going to be spammed up, but don't know if it'll save one of these mexes. ASF's trying to just pierce the ASF veil. Oh, it's going to be close. Gunship's at 3-star veterancy. It's going to go to another part of the map to get out of AA range. But great snipes by Zelby. Took the opportunity when he had it and really just threw Team 2's eco into just disarray. Gava Gava still holding position, getting more parashields, getting more shields and more PD. The only thing I don't like about stacking them up like this is that if you have AoE weapons on board units, it just kind of nullifies a lot of that because it's just damaging all the structures at the same time. Granted, if you draw a line of them, it's the same thing, but a little bit worse if you stack them up in a box. Artillery is online for Team 2's Kelly, the stationary version. But look at all of that Ooh, that's gotta hurt. That's a lot of T3 artillery. And just make Sams, says Kelly. Just make Sams. That is what my mate wrote, says Kelly. And I think he's just going to go into the beyond. Lots of T3 artillery. He's not even going to get close to the base. And that is a Control K. Kelly being annoyed. And that is going to be the first departure of the game. Everybody did make it past 20 minutes, though. It is now a 2v3 in favor of Team 1. I feel like a Control K would have been better, but want to do at least some damage before he died, I think. And Kelly not really satisfied. Probably just because the map isn't, in some people's opinions, not the best. And I understand that. It isn't conducive for a lot of stuff. But, you know, that's where you got to play the game differently. You can't play the game the same way every single time because then it's just the same thing every time. That's why COD has so many different game modes. You have, you know, TMD, Search and Destroy, Domination. Because, yeah, it's the same game, but you can play different ways in the same game. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Laser has been started and almost done for Drimmer. He might go for Telemazer early, maybe trying to knock out the air grid. That would be an interesting play. Knocking out Team 1's ability to fight in air. And then try to go somewhere else. We do see the reclaim and rebuild method being deployed by Zelby. It all depends on how fast you can build the T3 mechs. The laser is now done. He's doing them both at the same time. Probably want to just invest in one and then do the other, but who am I to judge? He's a 1800 and I am not, so you know, you do you, essentially, or he do he, I think is how you would phrase that. Gava Gava getting more engineers online. No experimentals besides the one being built by Drimmer. He has laser. Do not get on a transport. Do not want to be one of those people that ignores the teleportation, goes for transport. He gets on the other side of the map, his transport's dead, he's stuck over there, he dies. And in a game where it's 3v3, okay, he's going to go for teleport. Okay, whew, I was going to be very, very concerned. But in a game with 3v3 players, if one dies, that's 33% of your APM, and then 2, that's 66% of your APM. So it makes a huge difference when somebody dies, especially that second player is very key because it goes from, oh, okay, I still have 2, you know, there's 2 players left still on my team, and it's me and another guy, or it's the other 2 guys. We got this, and then another player dies, and it's like, ooh, it's 1v3 to 1. So 3v1 is just, it's brutal. We've seen games where that one player does very, very well. He doesn't win because it's just a matter of, you know, so many cuts have been made and it just cannot stand up to the bleeding essentially. So that's just my little 2 cents about APM and dying and whatnot in ladder matches. Othem's pushing in, taking out AA and other defenses. We do see some Titans trying to just, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something over there. And that teleportation is halfway done. He really needs that done sooner rather than later. Otham taking out T2 mexes. Otham taking out PD and AA. It looks like they're targeting the AAs first. Team 1 PD trying to be spammed up. And they're targeting the mexes now. Oh, there goes one more mex. Team 2 has now fallen behind in the eco. It's 1 plus 100 for Team 1 more. So it, you know, that lead is going to start to hurt. T2 PD has been built from a while ago, and it looks like that's going to be enough to stop the Otham. T3 mex has been targeted, but yeah, that's not going to be enough. The teleport is done. Will he teleport right away, or will he wait? If he teleports, he could try to assassinate Zelby, and he tried maybe get the air grid at the same time. If Team 2 finds him, that might be the target. They know where he is, so never mind. Lots of scouting going on by Team 2's remaining players. Love to see that. Spy plane's also inbound. We get a clearer picture on that side of the map. Gun has been started, so he really wants to blitz stuff down. And I think once that gun is done, then he'll go for it. That gun's going to be built very, very quickly. Sooner you use it, the better, because the longer it goes, the worse it's going to be for getting out of there and for taking stuff out. You got to use the advantage while you have it, or it will no longer be an advantage. It might actually turn into a disadvantage. Still, nothing big on the cards here for either team. We do see a crab online for Lord of Ashes, so switches from going for monkey first to crab first. It's outside, nothing crazy. Looks like a chicken has been started for Better-G, and there goes the teleportation. Drimmer teleports and kills off Zelby. I knew it was going to happen at some point, and he teleports outside of main range. Granted, he teleports in and just gets out immediately. Could have gone after the headquarters. Or taking out the SMD. Actually, I think he did grab the headquarters. Never mind. There's now a 2v2 tied-up game. Crab over here in the east, taking out the defenses. T2 PD being built, but artillery needs to be built more. There's some missiles, but that's not going to do a whole lot. He teleports again. Goes after mexes over here to the west. Gets out another T3 mex. So that's 4 of them killed off. He's going to teleport to his side of the map again, I guess. Yep, there he goes. And there goes that one crab, taking out the entire eastern side defenses here for Gava Gava. Are you going to teleport again? Looks like no. I think Team 1's going to try to counter him very, very quickly. Rebuilding of the facilities is online, as well as getting a T3 air headquarters online as well. There's some, well, some would be an understatement, about maybe 2 squadrons, maybe 2.5. Oh no, there's 3+ squadrons inbound for that one crab, and unfortunately for that crab, it's going to be a not good day for him. And about a decent chunk of the hit points was lost. I'd say about a third from those Corsairs. And we do see that Congolana Othams going somewhere. I don't know where they're going. They're going somewhere. They got to go somewhere. It's either go somewhere or go nowhere because they don't move. It looks like the comm is just going to go back to better sides of the map, I guess. Or this is definitely worrisome for Team 2. There is a wound. It is open. Team 2 does not have the adequate defenses to protect it. T2 missile launchers are inbound. Did they predict where he was going? No. They are going to take out nothing, actually. ASS will engage one another. There's some AA in the area for Team 2. And a great engagement does help with getting those numbers to where Team 2 would like them, and they would like them to be 0, but other than being 0, you know, having more would be better. Missiles not as effective on a crab because, of course, because the crab is so tall, the missile can actually, you know, impact it right below it and still not do any damage. You have to essentially direct impact it. It's not like other units where if you hit like right at their feet, it makes a difference. Here comes another volley inbound. That's going to miss. Another Corsair volley inbound. Missile misses again. It's really hard to hit the crab. I feel like every other experimental, it's easier. I mean, Fat Boys, I think, is the easiest to be fair, but with the Corsair assistance, that will be enough to push back Team 1's experimental. But of course, there's the land wall, the movable wall, the brick wall, whatever you want to call it, is inbound. Gaba Gaba looks like he's going to go out and meet it, and I don't think he has the adequate overcharge or anything else to kill it off. And T3 Pigeon's going down, T3 Mex is going down, a couple of bricks died to the T3 Pigeon. Probably not a good idea there, but there's still attacks in the east. In the west, Fat Boy, not looking super hot. There is a chicken there, and all those Othams, I guess, are back. They went on the whatever sojourn they went on and went, no, we don't need to go anywhere, and they left. Crab is not dead, 1,500 hit points and repping back up, but it's eventually been knocked out of the match for now. Teleporter has been started for Lord of Ashes, so he wants to get his hand on some laser teleportation nonsense tech. Advanced Nano done, going for Ras, or Pedagis wants to make sure his comm is protected, and that Fat Boy just gets immediately wrecked by that chicken. We got bleeding on the east and bleeding on the west. Now the wound is open, and they're going to just sandwich in between this nice little group of T2, AA, and PD. Not a good day for Team 2's front line and front wall, whatever you want to call that, line of AA and PD. There is an artillery piece online for Team 2's Drimmer, though, so that is something to be concerned about, of course. Now, one artillery usually isn't the end of the world, but if it goes after the air grid, which it looks like it is, shields are being built immediately, and spam ASFs is just the order of the day, the meal of the day. Here comes the shield, but impacts. I think it impacted that ASF. The ASF protected. Nice grab from that ASF. That would have impacted almost directly, I bet, on that SMD. The chicken is coming into range. If that chicken gets anywhere near this air grid, it is not a good day for Drimmer. All those gains he got in air is going to be nullified. He needs to kill that off. He does. I think that's barely out of range. Couple of things get taken out, but that's not super critical. Another chicken inbound, though. That's not great. Monkey is almost done. Artillery is done, and looks like he's building more Fat Boys as well. Advanced range has been started on Gava Gava's comm. Chicken is in the yellow, and there's more Percy's coming to meet it. The main focus, of course, is going to be the air grid. If Team 1 can knock that out, the only thing they have to worry about is the artillery. Artillery, speaking of which, has been targeted by Lord of Ashes. Comm cannot get the laser to really work. If the P-jump blows up, he might actually die by volatile explosion. Oh, don't go for the... Oh, does he get out of there? No, and I think he technically didn't kill himself, but it definitely did not help. So Drimmer loses the artillery piece, but Team 1 loses a player. It's 2v1 in favor of Team 2 for the first time in the game. And with the with the monkey assistance, the chicken dies next to the monkey. So, again, a nice little 1-for-1, but the reclaim is on Team 2 side of the map. Yeah, my bad, says Lord of Ashes. Yeah, I think he saw, he was just severely weakened enough. He was almost out. I'd say about maybe 6 or 7 more seconds would have been enough, but that cascade, it's gonna get you. Teleported too close to pigeons. Yup. Yeah, you did. I mean, it happens. So nice little learning experience, of course. But it is, Team 1 is not knocked out of the game just yet. They still have Berdergy. So one comm for Team 1 died by teleportation because Team 2 teleported on Team 1. And then Lord of Ashes dies by teleportation only because he teleported next to a P-gen, blew it up, and then with the damage from the Fat Boy nearby, it was a nice little 1-2 punch, essentially. But the ASF counts here for Berdergy now because he's the sole player on Team 1. 165. Drimmer is probably comparable. Actually, no, he's only at 90, but he has 53 Corsairs. He could probably try to snipe one of these chickens, but there's 3 of them running around for Berdergy. Berdergy, 1.3k mass income, and Team 2 at 1.1, with Drimmer at 1k and Gaba Gaba at 100. So Drimmer is the heavyweight for Team 2, and Team 1's the de facto, just the remaining player on Team 1. Artillery is online for Berdergy. It looks like it was just newly minted, just to finish the coat of paint, put a shield next to it, and called it a day, building a second one immediately after that. We see T2 PD being built to protect it, and it has a stealth field generator next to it. So Team 2's, well, okay, Team 2 was not going to know about it, but Team 2 knows about it. I think maybe the only play is to go after Bettergy's comm, because if Team 2 kills off Bettergy, that's game. Doesn't matter when. Bettergy, get out of the P-gens. Just get out of where they're standing. If the teleport happens, that's a not good place to stand. Fat Boy spam coming online here for Drimmer as well, going to rebuild his artillery piece. And those ASF called in to probably protect the Corsairs wherever they ended up being. Oh, they're down here. Oh, they're really spread out down there, aren't they? Chicken is inbound. Granted, it's not the best position for Team 2's forces. That artillery piece is going to be vulnerable. Maybe make Scathis his Lord of Ashes. I mean, I don't think he really needs to at this point. The air grid isn't shielded enough. Oh! Yeah, that did it. That's got to hurt. And that chicken is not going to last much longer. It's not going to get to the SMD, but there isn't a nuke on Team 1, so nothing really to worry about in that regard. The air grid is dead. I think Drimmer's only play maybe is the teleportation. Granted, there's so much PD that's been built now. It's going to be a one-tap if he teleports in. So, of course, the lasers would have to swing around a little bit depending on where he teleports in to go after Bettergy's comm. But the ASFs might take the fight here. Yes, there's Percy's, and yes, there's chickens, but if the ASFs are wiped out, Team 2 has no more air, and that would probably be game right there. Those chickens, again, they don't really have that much to go after with the air grid down. Doesn't really matter. First chicken is going to die. There it goes. Air will wipe out the Corsairs. And Team 2's ASF are nowhere nearby to take advantage. Second chicken to the west. Oh, sorry, to the east. Gava Gava underneath a decent amount of fire. His shield is down. He does have the heavy shield, so that does help keep him alive much longer. The second chicken is dead. Third chicken is still alive. There's those two fat boys fleeing for their lives. There's no power on board because, well, you know, the main power is gone. Looks like the artillery from Team 1 is targeting the one. Oh, they just think that's where an artillery is because of the formation. Which, again, you wouldn't be wrong because that's what it looks like. Shields are back online. Looks like the power situation has been roughly sorted. Oh, and it's gone. Never mind. Oh, shields come back online. Monkey has been severely halted. The monkey's not going to be done. It's just isn't. It is unfortunate. That probably would have been enough to save the remaining stuff over here. Drimmer is just fleeing for his life. He doesn't have cloaking on board, so Team 1 would still see him. Artillery is saved for now, but I think there's two online for Team... Yup, there's two online, and he's going... Ooh, okay, so the only worrisome thing is if Team 2 teleports in right now, they could probably get... It would be a suicide, but they could probably take out the P-gens, and then Bergy would be not looking good on hit points, but... Okay, well, the Fat Boy running into the Lightning Storm, probably not the best idea for your health. All the parashield. Oh, that is just, yeah, not great. In terms of where that Fat Boy was going, looks like the artillery is almost done. ASFs took a hit. The air grid is going to be a long ways away from being replenished if it actually gets replenished at this point. It is 44 minutes on the clock after all. It might be one desperate play, and that might be it. Gava Gava holding position in his base, trying to get a Colossus online. And Bomber already inbound. Oh, the shielding already weakened. Ooh. Not even going to get a chance to get that artillery online. Once again, it looks like the Bomber immediately is wiped out by the ASFs, but that's all the remaining ASFs for Team 2. It is we own air territory for Team 1. And there goes some P-gens. There's no shields remaining. One great placement will be all that is required to take out the Duke that was essentially 90. Is it done? Oh, it is done. Never mind. Oh, no, wait, is it? No, it's not. Oh, it's not done. It just looks like it's done. It's probably not. Oh, man, there it goes. It was like 99. Yep, there goes the teleport. He's going to go for it. I think he sees that it's the last. Oh, he's going to teleport all the way to the northwest side of the map and then just immediately drop on top of Energy's comm. He's going for shields, and more shields. Building a nuke. It's gonna be close, but I don't just think there's too much PD nearby. Yeah, because look at the ring of PD that he has to deal with. That's a one tap. And now Bettergy has moved. Teleport still hasn't happened yet. They see the comm. They're going after the comm. Will you teleport in time? Nothers and T3 bombers over top. Artillery actually hits Drimmer. Oh, he just that was nasty what happened to him. Just hover bombs right on top of Drimmer. That is that's gotta hurt. And that is the game. Gava Gava's the last remaining player on Team 2. Gava Gava control Ks, and there's the game. I think the moment for Team 2 to try to win it was to go after Vertigy early, or go after the artillery early. That combined with the bombers that came in just did not help. Team 2 did a pretty good job on defending with land, but with the air grid going down, the shields were down, and it was just a hill that Team 2 could just not get situated back on. That's just how the game goes sometimes. But let me know down in the comments what you feel about the game overall. MVP for me, of course, Bertucci was the last surviving player on Team 1, so it kind of de facto goes to him. And, of course, the artillery and all that stuff definitely helped cement that. But, again, thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't, because why not at this point, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will see all of you in the next one.